Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Today, the Hungry Gamer is back with the final bracket of the Beatrice the Board Game Dog Game of the Year Tournament 2024. And what I decided to do this time is I'm going to put this and then the final rounds all together in one video. So here we are. We're going to check out the fourth bracket. Then I'll do a little bit of a discussion around the four final games, and then we'll see which game is the final winner. Next up, we have Invincible versus Buru, and here she comes making her way, and she goes for Buru. Next up, we have Apiary versus Metro Runner, and Apiary it is. Next up, we have Wild Gardens versus the Expedition's Gears of Corruption expansion. We all know Jamie Stegmaier is a big fan of Beatrice the Board Game Dog. Will she advance 2 of his games? Oh, she does! Next up, we have Buru versus Deep Shelf, and Deep Shelf got an accidental bye into this round, and we'll see if Beatrice approves of that. And no, she does not. No underwater creatures, which makes sense. She does not particularly like water. Next up, we have Apiary versus Expeditions. Either way, Jamie Stegmaier reaches the next round, and she goes for Apiary. Perhaps it's true that this year she has a slight preference for space games. Now, for the last member of the quarterfinals, it will be Apiary, or will it be Buru? Beatrice is unsure, and oh, she goes for Buru! Sorry, Jamie Stegmaier, you did not make it this year. Hopefully you're still as big a fan of Beatrice as you once were. Alright, there you have it. So, our final four is Conquest Princess versus Factions of Soul. Factions of Soul very much being the underdog here, coming out of nowhere from the play-in game. And this is a fun indie game that I previewed and then I bought some expansions to go with it that has a really fun movement mechanism as you're moving around, kind of pick up and deliver style space game, and the planets move around, you're orbiting the planets and you're kind of flying all over the place and kind of dropping space junk behind you. And it's a very, very unique movement system that just the unique movement system alone makes this game worth having in your collection. So it's one I actually highly recommend that you check out. I believe there are copies available if that's something that you're interested in. Next up, and obviously that is up against Conquest Princess, which was my game of the year. I think this is a fantastically themed game. It is batshit crazy, and it is a wonderful crisis management style game that really relies on a lot of teamwork and working together. Very, very clever. On the other side, we have Buru versus Andromeda's Edge. Now, Andromeda's Edge has had a heck of an award season here for me. It was in my top 5 games of the year. It was a top seed in the 3 Idiots game of the year and was knocked out in a horrific upset. But no big deal, because it's been in like everybody else's game of the year discussion, so I'm sure they're not too upset about it. But they have made it through to Beatrice the Board Game Dog's Game of the Year semifinal, and this is a game that is a spiritual successor to Dwellings of Eldervale. It is in space, it has tons of replay value, has a good solo mode, very, very clean game, a lot going on. And this is one of those types of games that's just at the edge of the weight of game that I like to play regularly. It is at the very top of the edge before I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too heavy for me to play on the regular. But very cool game, beautiful looking game. And that is also available now in various places. And then the final one is Buru, which was another one of my Game of the Year contenders. This is, to me, one of the best games for a con. It is fast. Lots of simultaneous play. You can teach people really quickly. It is beautiful on the table. It's got this lovely bidding system that it's just a joy to play. I really, really love this game. And that is obviously up against Andromeda's Edge, and we'll see where we wind up. Next up, we have Conquest Princess, the game that Beatrice has championed all along, where Factions of Soul, the Cinderella story of this tournament, and here she comes, taking her time, and Conquest Princess it is. What a great run from Factions of Soul, but it is eliminated. And for our second semifinal match, we have Andromeda's Edge versus Buru. will the bribing that Peter Von did pay off at last? Here she comes, making her way down, very slow, methodical, and Andromeda's Edge it is. We have Andromeda's Edge versus Conquest Princess in the final. And here we go for the final. We have Conquest Princess versus Andromeda's Edge. As you can see, a bounty of blueberries for the winner. Will she pick the bribery from Peter Von, or will she pick the being honored by Conquest Princess as a pet that you can play? We shall see. And here she comes, making her way down. Not sure. And Andromeda's Edge with the win. Apparently all you need to do for victory is come and give her more blueberries than she can eat and lots of scritches. Though a great run for Conquest Princess as well. So there we have it, folks. You have your winner, Andromeda's Edge, with the win. And clearly Beatrice, the board game dog, had a moment where she had to think about it. She said, well, Conquest Princess already has a win. Andromeda's Edge does not have a win because she loves both of those companies. She loves Peter Von. He gives her scritches. He gives her blueberries. While Seppi has actually put her into a game as a pet co-pilot. So clearly, one of two things happened here. One, she either realized that Andromeda's Edge didn't have a #1 win from Hungry Gamer yet, so she went with it. So she decided, you know what, this needs to happen. Or the Andromeda's Edge box looks a little more like a blueberry, so she went for that. But there you have it, folks. So here's what's going to happen now. If you are one of the top 5 brackets, you've won a prize. And what will happen is I will be emailing everybody, and I'm going to ask you to rank the prizes in order that you want them. And then I will contact publishers or mail stuff out from my house right here. And if something can't quite go to your country because you're not in the States, then we will figure that out. I'll move to the next one on your list. Or if I'm mailing from me, I will get in touch with you with any shipping difference that you will need to cover for said game. And I highly recommend that you check the standings because you'll see if you're one of the winners. And so make sure you do check your email, check your spam, because after about 3 days or so, I'm just going to move to the next person down and everyone will kind of shift up 1 slot. So don't miss your chance to get your prize. But there you have it, folks. This was another delightful tournament for me. Beatrice always loves doing it, though she promptly, every time we're done, she eats all our blueberries, she immediately goes down and takes a nap for about an hour or 2. It's very, very taxing when you're a board game dog. But I'm looking forward to seeing what comes up next year, and I really do hope that you go check out any of the games that you saw that look interesting, especially those final 4 games. They're all just delightful games, and I cannot be remotely upset at any of those making it into the final 4. But as always, if you enjoyed this video series, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.